It's only for direction. The Lordships wanted to know whether the government is keen to pursue this matter. I think yes.
We prepare it within how much time will both of you prepare this?
It will take about 6. We need at least about 4 to 6 weeks to prepare the government. So the additional material may have to be scanned and then.
So, Attorney, we can welcome you on your first appearance.
I abandon the victims, but the tragedy is unfolding almost every day. So I would take a little time. I would have probably placed before the court my brief note of issues, but for want of time, which I could not do. But I'm sure that we'll be able to assist the court on this very, very challenging case where more than one aspect of the matter may have to be unraveled for the first time. So I've also looked into examples elsewhere.
So, Attorney, we can welcome you on your first appearance.
I wish to convey to your lordships that the government is very keen to pursue this matter. I have applied my mind on the review judgment and to various other challenges involved in reopening this matter. But having regard to the concern of the government that we cannot abandon the victims, so the tragedy is unfolding almost every day. So I would take a little time. I would have probably placed before the court my brief note of issues, but for want of time, which I could not do. But I'm sure that we'll be able to assist the court on this very, very challenging case where more than one aspect of the matter may have to be unraveled for the first time. So I've also looked into examples elsewhere, both in case of opening settlements and also mass starts, etc. We have a considerable literature when courts have gone into beyond the settlement arena. So I think I'll place all that material before the court whenever the court assembles again. But before that, I propose to share with the court my brief note of issues which thought can be gone into by the court. The Lordship may go through it through circulation, in not assembled in the court. At a later point of time, by the time we would have assembled all our materials, our convenience volumes and compilation of judgments, etc., we have a rich bibliography available on these issues. I will take a little time.
The government, you have to take a stand whether you are proceeding. You are saying you are proceeding. And but you don't want to proceed today, it appears.
Today it's only for direction. The Lordships wanted to know whether the government is keen to pursue this matter. I think yes.
How much time do you need for it? See, one, if you want, if you are proceeding with it, then you must have a separate. We don't want to take the whole record.
I understand.
A separate compilation. You must make a.
We will do that. We will
only look at the convenience compilation.
We will have a dedicated team for having that done.
From both sides. From both sides, you have to have a dedicated team to make the convenience compilation. Do your housekeeping task, and then only will we listen.
I'm not going to repeat.
Yes, Attorney.
No, I didn't. It's entirely the discretion of the court as to who shall be heard. But today, after several stages, the initial stage, of course, everybody had a right to be heard. There were several concerns, several ways of, presenting perspectives on this matter. And speaking for myself, we're all gone through this. I had an opportunity of assisting Professor Bakshi in the early stages of litigation. We have gone through representing victims on the one side and also government on the other side. I have fairly a good view of the unfolding dimensions of the case. So at the early stage, everybody heard. I don't want to be heard today saying stifling. Everybody's right to be heard. I don't like that. Stage where the only question for the parents of Patna concern is either adequacy of compensation to be revisited. If on that question, if last thing everybody need to be heard, is an entirely different matter. But if it's a matter entirely between the court and the Union of India and what parameters we can reopen it, and then how, and then what parameters the adequacy of the compensation can be revisited, is a matter I thought is where the Union of India may have to assist the court in a large measure.
See, they have flagged two issues. One, the fact that you never filed a review petition and you came in a curative petition after 19 years. What is the ramification? You'll have to examine. They have never filed a curative petition. Filed a review petition which was disposed of.
Sure.
Correct. Now, what is the capacity in which they are to be heard? These are two, apart from any other issue, this will be issues which will arise. Joint compilation. We prepare it within, how much time will both of you prepare this?
It will take about 6. We need at least about 4 to 6 weeks to prepare the
How
company.
much?
So the additional material may have to be scanned and then
No, whatever.
properly.
There's one.
Wait,
You say now. See, attorney, you know.
I quite see that.
Follow
We,
the
we
practice.
don't.
6 weeks is 7 into 6, 42 days. So let's be clear on the days. So you wanted now 6 weeks, whatever. No difficult.
8 weeks.
Not so we are not.
8 weeks.
But 8 weeks will mean 7, 8 is 56.
Yes. Yes.
Right, within 8 weeks as grade 4 in brackets 56 days. That is close. Timeline has to be adhered to.
Absolutely.
Not broke any deviation.
No compromises on that.
Now, thereafter, you will also have to file your
Submission.
synopsis or submissions.
Yes.
The parties will also file a brief synopsis. How many pages each?
5 pages.
For me, maybe a
It
little
will be
more.
longer than that. Make it
Little
10.
more.
10 pages.
See, we have to learn to.
No, I know,
To
but-
time limits, we have to learn to adhere to
Ten
pages. Otherwise, it becomes an indefinite, cumbersome process.
My lords, if
Let-
I may have a
You
last.
can't interrupt in between. Sorry, man.
10 pages.
10 pages would be
Number of
sufficient.
dates.
Oh.
10.
No, dates are different. Submissions are different. Different thing.
Not keeping in view the number of facts, not they may take 10 pages. Within 10 pages.
In 10 pages as per.
I know.
Very.
We will keep it once for housekeeping so that we are
Yes.
sure that everything is ready, then only we'll list it.
Sure, Lord.
Otherwise, we don't want to put a time for listing, so we'll assemble to see whether you have done what is required to be done.
Correct. Absolutely.
So 8 weeks, synopsis will be simultaneously filed or how do you want it?
No, we may file it a little thereafter, after the compilation gets ready, because we may have to do some.
Within 2 weeks thereafter?
Yes.
Within 2 weeks.
We may also need to file some additional documents, materials as part of a compilation.
No. Can't be
No,
like-
to,
We are not having a fresh petition to be.
no. To
There has to
present
be
the,
nuances of curative in it.
No, certainly, I understand the limitations of the curative hearing, but then to update what is the current data and analysis of this. So we need to apprise your lordship of what is the current position. It's a very important set of material.
Within 2 weeks thereafter.
Yeah.
That's it.